What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Mike Lucas. Some of y'all know me as Mikey McNuggets, as the senior producer of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. And let me just make something abundantly clear right off the bat. I'm not leaving UCSS. My duties at UCSS are not changing whatsoever. This is just a little extra because I can't stop working. I love to work. I love what I do. I got the best job in the world. But I figured outside of UCSS, I do a bunch of freelance gigs and jobs and streams for other companies like Bleacher Report, just to name some of them. And while those streams live on the Bleacher Report app, they don't really live anywhere else. And if you don't have the Bleacher Report app, well, you don't get a chance to see them. And same with some of the other freelance projects I have going on top of my UCSS duties. And I was thinking to myself, well, you need some sort of portfolio. So if someone doesn't watch UCSS and wants to see some of the work you're doing on the outside, well, where are they going to find it? And a WordPress blog and a website just didn't feel like the appropriate forum for a bunch of online streams. So I thought to myself, all right, Mike, you created a YouTube channel with the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, grew that up to nearly 50,000 subscribers. Might as well start your own. So here we are today. Welcome to Mike Lucas Sports, the most unoriginal, generic name for a sports channel ever. And maybe down the road it'll change, but for now, it's Mike Lucas Sports. Simple, to the point, and you know exactly what it is. Some of the things you'll see on this channel are my streams for other platforms outside of UCSS that don't live on YouTube, don't get broadcast over YouTube. You might get some post-game reactions that we're live streaming. If it's a Cavs game, won't be any Browns because that is a UCSS exclusive, but maybe just some immediate reactions to things that someone else on the UCSS roster has already covered, but I have some thoughts myself that I want to get out. We also can't post game footage on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show channel because, well, it's technically illegal, but I can post it here because if they want to sue me and take my channel down, you can have it. It's worth $0.00. So I'm afraid to post some of the NFL and NBA film breakdowns that we can't do on UCSS. So guess what? They're going to live on this channel instead. So you're going to see Sean King every week on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. You'll see part of his film breakdowns on the WKYC show on Friday. And you'll see the full Sean King breakdown of Jameis Winston. You can see some of the previous ones on Deshaun Watson right here on this channel, Mike Lucas Sports. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Do me a favor. Let's help grow this bad boy. It's not going to overtake the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It's not going to replace UCSS. This is just a little side hustle and a side hobby that I've always wanted to create. And now it's a digital portfolio of all the things I do that aren't my main job. Pretty simple, pretty cool, right? Well, we might as well do a little bit of a topic while we're here. And I just want to talk about something GBush said on today's show. First and foremost, G said the Browns have a chance to run the table and make the playoffs. And before I tell you why that's crazy, I got to give my guy Kyle Brenner a shout out. You see the logo on the channel? If you see the logo in the top right-hand corner of your screen, my guy Kyle Brenner, who's a UCSS watcher, hit me up one day and I texted him and said, hey, I know you're cool with graphics. Can you make a logo? And he said, for sure. Absolutely. Working with Kyle was a pleasure. He made it simple. It was affordable. So if you want to check out Kyle and all his designs, you can find him on Instagram at Kyle Brenner Designs. I'll post a link to his Instagram and to his Twitter and social media channels in the description below. So make sure you check out Kyle Brenner if you need any design work, logo work, graphic work. The guy's a wizard. He got all the stuff to me quickly, fast, professional, and I like how it came out. Came out pretty sweet. I kind of like how that looks in the top right corner. It's generic because Mike Lucas Sports is the most generic name ever, but the logo makes it look way cooler than the name suggests. So check out Kyle. Cool dude. Big fan of the show. And I am a big fan of his work. His Instagram, once again, Kyle Brenner Designs. It is in the description down below. But back to what GBush said about the Browns potentially running the table. I don't think it's going to happen. Like, let's be abundantly clear. I don't think it's going to happen. But when G described it, and he described the path the Browns have to reaching that 10-0 plateau, I was kind of like, okay, G, you're talking me into it here. Take a look at the Browns' schedule over the next couple of weeks and just let me talk this out as to why you could talk yourself into a potential 9-0 finish to end the year. You got the Chargers on Sunday at home. The Chargers are the number one defense in football. Offensively, it's a struggle. And this Browns defense, even potentially without JOK and Denzel Ward, in theory, should be able to contain a passing offense whose top receivers are Ladd McConkey and Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnson. That's not scaring you. In a running game with J.K. Dobbins, who had a great start to the season, has been pretty mediocre since. Their offensive line is a Jim Harbaugh offensive line. They're physical. They're not great. Defensively, they play well together, but not a lot of star names. And if you get the same kind of game you got from Jameis Winston against the Ravens, you can certainly beat the Chargers. It's at home. It's essentially a must win. All these are really must wins for the Browns. You can see yourself winning. The Browns are slight underdogs in the game, 1.5-point underdogs as of Tuesday night, but by no means count it out. Then you have a bye week. You come off the bye and you have the New Orleans Saints on the road. New Orleans is an absolute joke right now. They might be the worst team in football outside of the Carolina Panthers, who they play this week. Derek Carr might be back at that point, but I ain't scared of Derek Carr. And after the bye, I expect Nick Chubb to be back to the full Nick Chubb we had become accustomed to seeing prior to the injury. So that's 2. Then you got Pittsburgh at home on a short week. Hey, Russell Wilson's looked decent in his first 2 starts, but there's no guarantee he'll still be the starting quarterback in week 12. Pittsburgh's defense, very good. TJ Watt is the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, but I'm not scared of that offense. Jameis, if he's dealing, can absolutely beat the Steelers. Then you have to travel to Denver for a Monday night game. You have extra rest. You go from Thursday to Monday night. Give me the Browns with extra rest against a rookie quarterback. Then they're back over to Pittsburgh. You beat them once. Pittsburgh squared of what happened. They're in shambles, quarterback situation. You beat them twice. Then you're home for Kansas City. That's a tough one. But at that point, Kansas City might be 14-0, have nothing to play for, and be kind of winding down. They don't want to show anything off for the playoffs, making sure Travis Kelce and Mahomes are healthy entering the playoffs. It's at home in December. We've seen crazier things happen. Then you have the Bengals on Thursday night again. You almost beat the Bengals with Deshaun Watson getting injured midway through the game against this defense, which is in shambles. It could be a toilet bowl situation for Cincinnati at that point. I don't hate the chances on a short week. Then you got Miami in the cold at home, second to last game of the season, December 29th. Tua never wins in the winter. And then you finish the season with Baltimore, who has probably wrapped up the AFC North at that point and will rest all their starters. So, once again, I don't think it's going to happen, but when G puts it that way, is it the craziest thing you've ever heard? No. Let me know what you think. The Browns probably need to get to at least 9 wins to make the playoffs, or at least have a chance to make the playoffs. They probably need 10 to actually make the playoffs, which means they need 10 wins. They have to go 8-1 over the final 9 games. Can they do it? Let me know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's help grow this channel. And welcome to Mike Lucas Sports. Peace.